Watch out, Monster High! Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we're going to be doing a breakdown over all the news we have for upcoming Jakks-specific fashion doll lines, including DC superhero and villain dolls, first real-life unboxed pictures as well, announcements for Scooby-Doo, Daphne, and Velma dolls being made, and perhaps a ripoff of Monster High Skullector. We have House of Dread, made by Jakks-specific here, doing their own take on dolls based on horror icons, including such as Ghostface, Billy the Puppet, Pinhead, and more. So stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course. No pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. But for now, let's get into it. That's right, last week we got a first official look announcement at the new DC Comics collaboration with Jakks-specific, doing their own take on fashion dolls based on characters such as Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and of course Supergirl. They also made it clear that there's going to be many other inclusions in this line in the future, so perhaps Black Canary, Mira, Hawkgirl. I mean, there's so many characters in these comics that they could pull from and turn into fashion dolls, even boy dolls perhaps. I mean, never say never, but this is a very exciting collaboration indeed, because the only other dolls we've had from, DC Comics are by Mattel, and that was, few and far between. Most recently we had Wonder Woman, then we had last year, or 2 years ago, we had Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, but no Catwoman, so it hasn't been as recent. So this does kind of like fill in a gap in the market when it comes to officially released, licensed DC Comics dolls, based on characters such as Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy that have such demand to be made into dolls. So this is very exciting, and not just a stock photo, but apparently some people are already finding them in store early, because by the way, these dolls are only going to be available in Walmart stores, unfortunately. So I'm not sure how that's going to look like for European fans, because of course here in Europe we don't have Walmart stores. So the only way that they could be available is perhaps through Amazon. So I'm hoping that eventually these 4 girls will be available here on Amazon, because I mean, they really do look amazing, but otherwise it would be a real shame, because I don't want to pay eBay scalper prices for these dolls, even if they are amazing. The pricing, by the way, for these 4 girls is $39 US, which does sound very steep, but as we go through all the pictures and the real life pictures, I do think you'll kind of find that it's kind of fair. It's a little bit fair, and especially compared to Mattel prices or MJ prices with similarly kind of like quality leveled releases. But this is just, either way, I mean, this is very exciting to be getting finally also a Catwoman doll. Mattel still hasn't done a official Catwoman doll recently in modern day, so seeing all 3 of the Gotham City Sirens here together, and Supergirl as well. But this is just so exciting. Honestly, I have to say I was really blown away. Like, these look so good. And like I mentioned, some people like user D Doll Isle already found them, all 4 of them in person. And it's not just these full-size fashion dolls that are also getting released in this collaboration. They're also making like shorter, like Chelsea version fashion dolls of these characters in similar outfits that are actually back charms, and they're also like making these like larger kind of like American Girl sized dolls of like Supergirl. So they're making a lot of different products in this collaboration with DC Comics, made by Jakks-specific here. And for instance, Garrett Sander, original creator of Monster High, as we all know famously, he actually also found some of these in real life, in person, here in a Walmart store. And actually Garrett Sander publicly just shared that he had his first day working at Jakks-specific, so he might actually be working on some of these projects behind doors, and we just don't know yet. Obviously he might not be able to say publicly, but we do know that he is now working at Jakks-specific somehow, at some capacity, in some projects. So maybe House of Dread, maybe he's involved with that. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. First off, he did buy all 4 of the fashion dolls here in the DC collaboration. So we're going to take a look here at the unboxed pictures of each of the 4 girls. Again, credits go to Garrett Sander. Thank you to him for sharing all of these pictures with us. Okay, firstly, we've got Supergirl here, and she actually includes a crypto-looking purse, which is like flocked apparently. Super cute. She's got red painted nails, the little shirt with the Supergirl logo, obviously, yellow belt with painted details in silver, little pleated skirt, over-knee socks, and then her thigh-high, well, almost thigh-high boots here. They're very high. And she also has a cape, which looks very nice. Her hair is blonde. She has a little bow. I think she's really pretty, honestly. She kind of feels like the most safe out of all four, I guess, because she's just kind of boring, to be honest. But I do love the crypto purse. I feel like that's a really, obviously also because it's flocked. Like, I feel like that's a really nice detail that they were able to flock the purse. But yeah, I think she's really cute. I do think if there's one complaint I have is that all four dolls do share the same face sculpt. And that is my main worry with these new Jakks specific dolls, is that they will all share the same head sculpt here. They will not have unique expressions or like sizes or different, like nothing unique. They're just going to be like a copy paste almost looking kind of character, just in different outfits. So it's kind of like, that's my main worry when it comes to all of these new announcements, is that what if they just all look like cosplayers and not actually like the characters themselves, just like in doll version. Anyway, maybe that's not the case, but this is a really cute interpretation of Supergirl. I think even the packaging, as we'll see, is very fun for her. Then we have Catwoman here, and seeing this doll by Jakks Specific really makes me want Mattel to make Catwoman next, so even more badly, because we obviously had Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy by Mattel like 2 years ago, and then this year we had Wonder Woman. But like, what about Catwoman? Like, we need Catwoman to complete the Gotham City Sirens. But anyway, at least for now, I guess we do have this version of Catwoman by Jakks Specific, and she looks really good. She has a darker skin tone out of all the four. I like her face grading. The darker smoky eye is really fun, and also she has the two different colored eye colors, which is really cute. I don't really feel like I recognize this version of Catwoman having two different colored eyes. I feel like that's very unique to this doll interpretation of her, right? Let me know. I'm really not well versed in the comics or source material of these characters, but this is obviously a compilation, like an ultimate version of Catwoman, because she's not even wearing a bodysuit. She's wearing this like long sleeve shirt that is pleather kind of with like white stitching. She's wearing this like black tulle skirt, but tights with some rips, and her boots also have more like white stitching, which really reminds me of Michelle Pfeiffer's version of Catwoman, which I love. I feel like that's very iconic. I also love the pearl strap, like the handle on her purse, the pearl strap on the purse. The cat ears are really cute, the high ponytail. Catwoman is really cute here. I do think maybe a bodysuit would have been just a bit more accurate, but I do not mind the skirt. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, and I love this version of her. This is very inspired by the Suicide Squad version of her from the movie, like from like years and years ago, like Margot Robbie's version of her in the movie. I love the kind of like blue and red like split dyes and the pigtails. I love the makeup being smudged. The little booty shorts, the tights underneath with the holes. Her little diamond like tattoos, I think, on her legs are included. Her thigh-high like Converse like wedge heels. What? I love the like little ripped t-shirt underneath. The jacket having a working zipper. That's kind of crazy. That is crazy. For again, $39 you're getting a working zipper. Mattel could never. I'm just saying, this is I love this version. I know it's like very overdone. Like I've seen people say that it's not a very fun look for her. A lot of people would have loved to have seen her in the like jester version of her costume, and I get that. That's very classic Harley, but it's very clear that in these versions of the dolls, they're kind of going for more of like a contemporary modern take on these characters. And obviously with that in mind, they would do the, Suicide Squad version of Harley Quinn. Like, of course they would. It's a very popular version of her. And I love it. I love the zipper, love the jacket, the different layers. I think she looks so good. I really cannot wait to get her. I really hope all of them become available for European fans and just overseas in general, because they look so good. I feel like she in particular, with the working zipper and the belt and like all these details, she's so pretty. And lastly, but certainly not least, we've got Poison Ivy here, and she is very much inspired by Uma Thurman's kind of like depiction of her in the movie from Batman and Robin, right? Because specifically with the like eye makeup, the leaves around her eyebrows, and then also the cape, very Uma Thurman from that movie, and the hairstyle with those little like top buns, pillars. That's very much from Poison Ivy from that version of her. So I'm loving this. Is basically an Uma Thurman doll. Just there's no face likeness. There's no resemblance to the actress, obviously, but like this looks like her. It's just so spot on. I do think her outfit is simple. It's probably the simplest version. It's probably the simplest doll out of all four because all she's wearing really is the bodysuit, the tights, which might be sewn on to the bodysuit. We've got the two arm warmers, like sleeves that are separate. The cape is nice. It is separate, but not really removable unless you like took her head off. And her boots are also separate. So really, you're not getting the most layers here. Harley Quinn definitely has more layers. Catwoman has more layers. Even Supergirl has like 4 layers, I think. So yeah, but I do think even so, I love her purse. I love her makeup. I love her like little jewelry pieces. Her shoes are, to me, I don't love the shoes. I feel like some boots or like maybe some high like vines going up her thighs would have been more interesting. I don't know why she has boots with like wings on the sides. Like maybe I'm just not getting the reference, but I do like her overall look. I think she's so pretty. I also love the cape. Like I feel like that's just very, very, again, Uma Thurman Poison Ivy. So I love her, even though she's very simple, you know. I think she's really pretty. But that's not all, because Garrett Sander also purchased all 4 of the kind of like Chelsea doll back charm versions of these characters. And these are so cute, but they're very small. Again, these are kind of like supposed to be back charms, little accessories that you can dangle off your bags or purses. These are really cute, and I'm pretty sure they also have generic little mini dolls like this that I've seen before. So these are clearly just, you know, themed after these characters. They're cute, but like really nothing too special. Garrett also actually posed both the Mattel and the Jakks specific version of the Harley and Poison dolls. So for comparison here, and I do think there's just a lot of notable differences. So for Harley here, there's like blue on the Jakks specific. For Mattel, it's more like black and red. And I love the different versions here, seeing the differences, because obviously Mattel has more focus on different face sculpts, like, you know, like the hair quality looks better, the stand looks better, the base has name of Harley on it, and the mallet accessory feels like better to me than the purse. But then Jakks specific seems to have just a bit more quality when it comes to the layers, the zipper, the working zipper, you know. So I do think there's pros and cons with both versions for sure. Which one do you prefer? And for Poison Ivy here, the biggest difference obviously is that one is green, the other is not. So Mattel is green. She also has a like plant friend as the accessory for Jakks specific. She has a little clutch purse. Jakks specific has a cape. Mattel does not have a cape, but I also feel like for Mattel, the overall like the layering of the bodysuit and then the boots are a bit, they look nicer to me than Jakks specific, to be honest. But then Jakks specific seems to have the, you know, they seemingly have nylon hair on all 4 dolls, so that probably feels better than the hair quality of Mattel. So once again, there's just many pros and cons with both versions, but I do love how both versions have basically the same kind of like leaf makeup detail around the eyes. I do love that a lot. They're both really pretty. I cannot choose. What do you think? Which version do you think has just a bit more overall quality and is better than the other? I think overall, I am very pleasantly surprised. I'm actually impressed, I have to say. I mean, other than the fact that they're basically reusing the same face sculpt for all 4, I think the quality, the hair does look gelled, but apparently it's nylon, so maybe if you wash it out, it'll feel like amazing and it'll look amazing. But other than the hair being gelled and the face sculpt being reused on all 4, I do think the quality looks amazing. The articulation seems very decent. They even have underwear. All 4 of them have underwear, like fabric removable underwear underneath. Yeah, really cool. Again, they all have painted nails. They all have like overknee, like tights or overknee socks for Supergirl. They all have purses. Stands are included. So I do think for $39 US, and the Mattel versions are like 50, 60. You kind of are probably getting more with the Jakks specific versions, right? I do think Mattel just does the face sculpt better. I do think the faces on the Jakks versions just don't look as I cannot take them as seriously. You know what I mean? Like they don't look as realistic, of course. But I think that really also comes down to preference. Like, what do you think? Do you care about the faces being the same face mold? Or would you prefer if the face sculpts were different for each character, or perhaps different expressions, etc.? I do think for me, that would help to make them look also a bit more better, you know, like if Harley Quinn had a different smile than Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy could have had a sultry look. Catwoman, give her like a smirk or like a winky eye. Supergirl, give her like a nice, you know, cutesy look. Like obviously I feel like that would have just added more to the quirks, to the personalities. I totally get why they share the same face sculpt, because obviously that way they can save money. But I do think in the future it would be wise of them to perhaps invest in different face sculpts to really give the character more of a feel of like, oh, these are really like the characters, you know? Because with Mattel's versions, I do see Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn in the faces. Here, while I do love the quality on the outfits, I don't love the faces as much, I have to be honest. But of course, we're also getting this year a collaboration between Jakks Pacific and Scooby-Doo, giving us fashion dolls of Daphne and Velma. And I am very excited for these two to get fashion dolls finally, because we have had Barbie dolls in as Daphne and Velma, but that has also been a while since the last versions of those came out. So this is just gonna be, it's gonna be so fun to see new modern versions, you know, fashion dolls of these two iconic characters. My only worry once again is that what if they just keep reusing the same face sculpt for all of these collaborations? Like that to me would be the one thing that would really just bring down the dolls, because it would kind of cheapen their look. Because while I do like the face sculpt enough, I don't like it enough where I feel like it could serve as the base for all of these collaborations, for all of these dolls. I feel like that would be not good. So as long as they invest again, you know, making new face sculpts for all of these collaborations, just give us a little bit of variety, I feel like that's okay. But if they do keep using the same one, I don't know about that. I feel like to me that would be kind of like overkill, just like how Mattel, when they keep doing Millie dolls, it just kind of becomes like a bit too much, you know, like even if sometimes they hit, most of the time they just kind of don't, right? So anyway, nonetheless, I do love the idea here of a Daphne and Velma fashion doll. I cannot wait. Seeing Mount also shared that they're going to be making dolls of the characters Buddy and Jovi from the movie Elf. So I guess they can make boy dolls, you know, Jakks specific. So I do hope that that means Superman, Batman dolls, hopefully one day for DC collaborations. But anyway, getting Elf movie dolls is bizarre. Like that's like what? I don't really see demand for like Elf to get dolls like that. But I mean, okay, go off. I guess they're trying out different collaborations, different IPs, seeing what does well. I'm intrigued, but like this seems like a far-fetched. Like, I mean, I get the movie has fans, but like, do y'all want dolls of these characters? I don't know. But of course, the biggest exciting revelation here is that apparently Jakks Pacific is also doing their own doll line here called House of Dread. And in this new doll line, they're going to be making dolls of horror movie icons such as Ghostface, Pinhead, Jason Voorhees, and Billy the Puppet from Saw. So this definitely feels like a jab at Monster High's Skullector line. And I honestly feel like this could be perhaps the motivation that Mattel needs to step up their game, because I do think Skullectors still can do well. Alien is the most recent example that I can see, that I can think of, that Mattel can still deliver. But I do think they also, I mean, it's like not a question that definitely Mattel is like also like, they're taking it easy. They're not really putting in too much effort most of the time. So perhaps with the rise of this new, you know, doll line by Jakks Pacific, you know, focusing on making dolls of, you know, based on these horror icons, you know, franchise movie icons, right? Hopefully with the rise of this new line, House of Dread, maybe that will kind of give Mattel Monster High the motivation to not be lazy anymore and really put in effort. Perhaps, you know, not be greedy with the price points, give us better quality, better packaging, better quality control, better releases that don't stink, no FOMO, no, you know, scammy marketing tactics, just, you know, being good releases, being good dolls, just delivering and doing good. It almost seems impossible, but maybe again with this House of Dread line, and I bet you. I mean, these are 4 iconic horror movie like just characters. Billy the Puppet, Ghostface. I mean, those 2 characters should have received Skullectors ages ago, but for some reason, never happened. I mean, I get it, but also like they've made collaborations with Squid Game. And that show is very violent, you know. They've done collaborations with other IP that, you know, Alien, adult, very adult. So I cannot see why, at least with like Ghostface, they wouldn't be able to make it Skullector. But nonetheless, there's maybe reasons behind the scenes that we don't know of, legal reasons perhaps that they were not able to acquire like collaboration licenses. I have no idea why, but it's happening now. For some reason, Jakks Pacific is not going to be able to make dolls of these characters, you know, again, also Pinhead and Jason Voorhees. So these are 4 iconic movie killers, you know, like horror movie icons. So I hope that, you know, and it's like, I'm pretty sure these 4 dolls will look amazing, even if they do have the same face sculpt. Even so, I'm pretty sure, just because they are such big movie icons, and there really is no doll line like this that is like 12-inch, you know, like this is going to be the first of its kind. So I feel like even so, even if the dolls themselves are not amazing, I hope still this kind of gives Mattel Monster High perhaps the motivation kick they need to get back up and like really start delivering again, because we know they can. They're just choosing not to. So yeah, whatever happens here with House of Dread, this is very interesting. I am very intrigued. What do you think? Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support that channel that way, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the adulting you love. Thank you also to all my currently subscribed members. I see you all, and I appreciate you so much. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.